House of Yugen and National Director of Miss Universe Bahrain, Pakistan, and Egypt. Let us please welcome the President and National Director. A big, big round of applause for Josh Yugen.
Guys, this is the most formal press conference I've been. So, let's actually chill. Thank you so much for being here. And I really appreciate to see familiar faces. But most of all, thank you to our empowering councils. How can I top what Maureen and Gwen said? So, for me, we have to support all women. It's not just, our pageant. It's not just about, our particular journey, but also every woman who's actually decided to compete for any pageant, have been training, have been putting their hearts and soul. As every one of you knows, there's light and darkness when it comes to pageantry, but they decide to embrace all of them. And the most important thing is they're actually inspiring a lot of young girls to follow their footsteps. So thank you very much, and let's give a round of applause to all the women, especially to all of those women who's actually in pageantry. So thank you guys.
Thank you so much for those messages, and please a warm round of applause to our panel of jury, member board of this year's Miss Universe Bahrain, Pakistan, and Egypt.
The most viral doctor. The most viral doctor. Okay, one of the most viral. But we love Adam, no?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to ask the beauty queens themselves. Yeah. When you accepted these roles for your new assignment here in Sir and Mama Josh's organizations, what do you hope to specifically, teach or tell your future eventual mentees this year based on your respective experiences in the pageant scene?
Personally, I want to encourage the girls to think long term. Your reign's not just 1 year. This pageantry gives you a platform to amplify your voice. So we need to be very forward thinking with what we're doing. It's not just about taking beautiful photos and getting a few followers. It's really about what you can do. So I want to let the girls know this can be a way to start your business, to inspire others, to connect with your community, to start a nonprofit. There's so much you can do beyond beauty, and I really do believe that beauty comes within. So I want to teach every single girl that we have. I want to inspire all the girls that come through our doors to use their voice, not just for themselves, but for others.
As Maureen said, being a queen, it's not just 1 year of being on stage, looking pretty, putting makeup on for photo shoots. It's really about what goes on behind the scenes and the impact that you can make towards others. So for me, being Miss World Philippines, it really taught me to embrace my inner beauty and also to see the beauty in other things. And once you really discover that, explore that, that's what I want to teach the other candidates, our next generation, to look beyond that and to make an impact for generations to come, not just for 1 year. Thank you.
Can I make a follow-up question? Yeah. Please, kasi this is Miss Universe already, Gwen, or you can answer David. How do you feel that, I don't know if you've been observing this on social media, but most of the contestants have already been judged on how they look, on how they act, and how they perform as early as now on social media without actually setting foot in the actual competition, which will still be later this year. Do you think that kind of particular observation could affect your eventual mentees' disposition in terms of how they should strategize for the pageant later this year in Thailand?
You mean how they look on social media compared to real life? I think social media, it can be created to be perceived in a different type of way. But once you meet the girl up close, personally, get to know her beyond her pictures, beyond what she posts on social media, because that's not reality. Once you meet her in real life, you see what kind of woman she is and what she stands for. So we can only really truly judge once we meet our candidates face to face. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, last na talaga. The pageant will be in Thailand, so wala pa yung mga eventual mentees niyo. So alam naman natin Thailand is all about pasabog, fan base, paandars. So on the top of your head right now, at the top of your heads right now, ano naiisip yung pasabog for the 3 eventual mentees that you'll be handling?
For me, syempre, pasabog is important, especially if it's in Thailand. Pageantry has evolved, and women have to stand out one way or the other. But that is only one portion of how they're being judged. And once you get to the interviews, once you ask them questions, you need to really see their authenticity, if they're genuine, and their passion towards making a community around them better. So to look pretty on social media, that's one aspect, but really, the heart is very important.
Alright, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Any more questions here?
Hi, I'm Rolanda Louise of Gem 88.3, and I guess my question is for Josh. What inspired you to start Miss Universe Bahrain and starting it in such a conservative society? The challenges that you face and what you feel the most proud of having accomplished now that you do have a franchise that offers this to women in Bahrain and as well as Pakistan and Egypt?
Thank you so much for the beautiful question. So I just want to tell you the real story of Miss Universe and how I get the franchises, because a lot of people are actually asking. So I have a very different story. A lot of national directors and franchise owners need to actually pitch their profile to Miss Universe, and of course, including all the accounts that they do have, all the works that they have done before. But for me, 2021, I was so blessed because I was approached by Paula Schubert and her team if I can actually open the Miss Universe in the Gulf, because for the past 70 years, during that time, there was no Miss Universe in the Gulf. So it seems impossible. And we actually started with UAE, but it didn't happen because of time constraints and because of the conflict of politics. But then again, they actually told me if I can actually do Bahrain, because that time Bahrain was the only country that kind of approved it, and they don't, they're not meddling with Miss Universe. So I actually said yes. I mean, that was 3 years after I brought Catriona Gray in Dubai. That was 2019 during her reign. So she won 2018, but until 2019. And then I built a good relationship with Miss Universe. So I actually told Paula and Sean and the team of Miss Universe, so yes, of course, but I feel like I haven't done any pageant before, and how can you do Miss Universe? It's like time of all the pageants, there's like thousands of pageants. So they told me, I think being a Filipino, you're a natural pageant lover, and we can actually all attest to that. Looking at you guys, ever since when you were kids, especially the LGBTQ community, they're all watching pageants. And I grew up loving Sushmita Sen when she won here in 1994. And then I told them, if you trust me with that franchise, I will actually handle it, I will nourish it, and I will nurture it. And I feel like I did. I actually started Bahrain on the ground up. And it's something that I'm actually proud of, because it's so easy to handle. I mean, it's not so easy, but it's easier to handle a powerhouse country because you already have the fans, you already have the funds, so you already have the sponsors. But when you're handling a country from the ground up, all the challenges will arise. But we have to arise over that challenges. So, I almost gave up after the first year because I feel like, what kind of business is this? It's not earning. I feel like business should at least, earn, you have to earn something financially. But you know what, I actually observed that Miss Universe or any pageant is more of a passion project. When I actually gave a platform to women, especially those Muslim women, because for the past 70 years, they're only doing bikini. And there's nothing wrong with it. I was born and raised in the Philippines. I'm very liberated as well. But those girls, especially the Muslim girls, they have talent, they have skill, they have beauty as well, like Filipinos, but they're not confident to parade because of the bikini. So I actually suggested, we were the first country to actually introduce bikini. And for me, it's an innovation in the pageant industry. And then the second year, I was actually offered to handle Egypt. Egypt has been in hiatus for 8 years or 4 years, correct me if I'm wrong. But I actually told Paula, okay, if there's like some issues with Egypt and you feel like I can handle that, and I said yes. And I think the problem with me is the same with Coach. We cannot, say no to a lot of people, but still, of course, the passion is there because I'm Filipino. And the third one, Pakistan, that is the only country that I teach because living in Dubai for 17 plus years, I've known a lot of Indians, I've known a lot of Pakistanis. And for me, they're so stunning, they're so beautiful. And I was like wondering why Pakistanis are not joining Miss Universe. And they're equally beautiful than their neighboring countries who are still joining and winning pageants. So I actually told them, can I handle Pakistan? And then the team of Miss Universe said, you will have problems. It is actually a challenge, and the government will chase you. And true to their words, they actually chased me. So it's actually crazy. We were in BBC pa. We were in CNN all over the news because Erica Robin, was the first ever Miss Universe Pakistan. And then one senator from Pakistan or congresswoman tweeted that, we have so many problems in the country, but why are we focusing in pageantry? Why are we stopping a woman to dream and to reach for a higher purpose? And that actually struck me. I felt like, I'm doing something, as little as I can, for giving platform to women. And that's more important for me than, having a financial growth for this business, to be honest. So, that's the story of Miss Universe. And until now, I actually have the 3 franchises. Well, last year, of course, everyone knows that, I had another country. I have to give it up. It's another story. I'll leave it later. For sure, a lot of media can Google or they already know. But for me, pageantry is about women. So that's it. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kate of Random Republica. For Josh, the question is, given that being conservative is already part of the Middle Eastern culture, how does that affect your criteria for judging or determining the candidates?
For me, it's the same. Hello? 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 Can you hear me?
Yes.
So for me, it's the same. I feel like there's nothing different if you're handling Muslim countries or conservative countries and handling non-conservative countries. So it's the same. It's the same criteria. I cannot judge someone based on her religion or her culture. For me, a woman is a woman and a dreamer is a dreamer. So that's it. Thank you.
Miss Universe is coming already. Is fast approaching this November. Will you do a national search?
Yes, we're already having. We always do competition. The only one I appointed is New Zealand last year, but all of them, Pakistan, Bahrain, and Egypt, I always do competition. So we already did a casting. We had so many beautiful, empowering girls, and then for Pakistan and for Bahrain. So yes, we're going to do a competition.
Will you bring all the
Not necessarily, but I would bring all the girls here because everyone knows that we're training all the girls here. For me, the best, not because I'm Filipino, but the best trainers are in the Philippines. I also want to give also, of course, jobs to the trainers in the Philippines because they're the best. So, like one of our trainers is here, Anton.
Yeah, I'm Jill Lopez from Pageant Nobles. My question is to Maureen and to Gwen. So what's your message to every woman who are planning or are joining pageants but are being persecuted or bashed online and offline just because of your choices to join?
I think that this new era of pageantry can have a lot of bashers, and unfortunately it's a part of the game now. So you definitely need to be grounded. I think before you enter, you need to make sure that you're not only physically ready, but you're emotionally stable and you're mentally ready. And I think you just need to own who you are and be unapologetically yourself. I myself have had issues in the past. You know, everybody will have controversies. It's just a part of the game now. So you need to be wise enough, bold enough to own your mistakes, to speak about the causes that you love and want to fight for. And at the end of the day, your character speaks for itself. So if you present truly who you are, you'll be golden.
What about you, Gwen? Thank you, Maureen.
I think every beauty queen can relate that we've all been bashed, we've all been judged for who we are because it's what we present on social media, and not everyone is gonna like each beauty queen. And what I can say to someone who is having a hard time with joining a pageant is really, as Maureen said, own yourself. Be ready, be mentally prepared, and don't let any words tear you down. Be that pillar of strength for other women who are also in the same situation.
Thank you.
Hi, this is...
So, hi, this is Hannah from Inquirer. So, I guess my questions are for Maureen and Gwen. Everyone knows that they have already the beauty, the following, and everything just to make it into Miss Universe. But why didn't you compete in Miss Universe Philippines and instead focus on mentoring the next generation of beauty queens?
Is that for Maureen?
Maureen and...
Spicy. Spicy. Inquiry, feisty.
I actually almost did join this past year, but I had to focus on business opportunities. Pageantry is becoming very expensive nowadays, and I had to evaluate why would I want to join. Am I joining for my ego? Am I joining for more business opportunities? And I came to the conclusion that I'm actually very content behind the scenes. I love mentoring the girls. You know, I actually travel the nation, judging in every single province. Every weekend I'm out cultivating the next batch of queens, and that brings me so much joy. So for me, I am fulfilled. I do have an international title. You know, something really big would have to happen, but I will always be a pageant fan. No matter whether it's Miss Universe, Miss World, Miss Grand, I will always be a fan. I will always support the girls. And I do see my value as a mentor, personally.
Yes, Adam.
Well, personally for me, coming from Miss World Philippines, it's a completely different platform. But I think pageantry will always advocate for causes, and mine is education. I haven't closed any doors to joining again, maybe in the future, wherever my heart will lead me. I know that in God's faith, it will be my true calling. And as Maureen said, it's not just being on stage, you really have to think of the expenses. It can be very expensive, especially if you don't have the support. So for me, it's a great opportunity to be able to inspire and lead the candidates, the women, and to make them grow, see their growth, and be part of their journey.
I guess we follow this for anyone can answer this. So mental health is one of the things that the beauty queens have to take care of behind the scenes. So how will you make sure that the beauty queens' mental health is taken care of, and what can you advise to help them? get through this crazy world?
I'd recommend Dr. Gwen to answer this because she's the head of Red Cross.
Thank you very much, Jones. Well, I think the ladies who are joining pageants, no, as what mentioned earlier, must be ready, not just physically, but emotionally and psychologically. So before they actually get into this, they themselves should be prepared. They will be able to meet, many instances or incidents that they may not want it, like bashing them, being judged, so on and so forth. So this is part of the training that they can actually get, from other also councils who are already, who went into this stage, this experience. So learning from a mentor is very important, I believe. And sticking to your advocacy is so important. I think the goal of every woman here is that if it's not just about, presenting yourself because of your beauty, but making sure the crown represents also your advocacy. So I think you're clear with that, no matter what will happen, I think that will make you very well grounded. And what is important for you is actually the voice of the many, children, women, disadvantaged people out there who are in need of your help. And then no matter what, I think you have to work towards a goal and not to be distracted, and that you are winning not just for yourself, but for the many people out there who are in need of your voice. Thank you.
Hello. Hi, I'm JC from Pageant Terrace. My question is for Josh. So you encountered opposition from the government and society in Pakistan that you had to hold a pageant in the Maldives. Where do you plan to hold it this year, and will you empower trans women to join the pageant?
Thank you for that question, Panideras. Number one, we actually asked permission already from Miss Universe, and it was granted that we are going to held it in Maldives. Because for me, number one is the safety of the girls. I think more than the entertainment, that you're having, for me, the safety of the girls is number one. So I wouldn't dare to do it now. In fact, especially, there's a news in Inquirer. I read that there's like an India-Pakistan, issue. And yes, right. And I need to be able to, at least assure that my girls are safe before entering that. When it comes to the question of being trans, I love trans people. I support them so much, of course. But for me, I have to respect the culture of that specific country as well. And I need to abide, on the rules. I mean, like, they're okay na with Miss Universe Pakistan. Ayoko na silang galitin. So parang I feel like, I just wanted to, support Pakistan girls and support Pakistan trans. And they exist, I'm not denying that of their existence. But for me, I just want them to be safe as well. But also there's other pageants that, accepts trans, so I actually want to congratulate the first ever trans candidate delegate for UW, Kayleen is here. So so where's she? I'm not sure if I can pronounce it or announce it. So but I'm super happy for her. I'm super proud of her. And I hope that you support all women, as I mentioned in my first statement. Thank you.
Can I have a question? Sure. What is the role of the Red Cross to the organization?
Before she answered that, I just want to give a trivia that all my girls are always visiting Red Cross. And they support, because Red Cross has so many, branches all over the world. But I'll give the microphone to Dr. Wood.
Thank you very much. So yes, I and Josh met. Hold long was that, Josh? 3 to 4 years ago. The very first purpose no, we met was actually, he was looking for an opportunity no, to expose the queens to the realities of life. And then we have to actually expose them to real situations on the ground that, and then how, you know, they will be able to, they should understand, I mean, what's going on, what are the needs, so that when they're out there, they know, you know, how to actually be the voice of change, hope, and humanity. So that's how we started. I believe that the women, the pageant contestants should not just be admired because of their beauty, because it is actually both an honor and responsibility to join a pageant. So I think they should be also very important that they understand the responsibility, the role that they have to play, and they should be admired because of that. And with the exposure in the Red Cross, I believe that because we have many causes for climate, causes for women, causes for children, causes for so many things, and then they get to actually choose which cause they want to amplify, they want to magnify, and then they want to be that voice, you know, for those people out there. Yeah, and we enjoy doing that with the ladies, and some of them became actually our advocates. You know? So, and that's, you know, why we're here and why I am here too. I take this also very personal, because I believe that the pageant contestants or the queens actually have a great voice, you know, to give to, you know, the people, especially those who admire them so much, so they can influence, they can be the voice for empowerment, you know, of the men, especially women out there.
Okay. By the way, I'm Attorney Don. I'm from DWIZ and Consular Channel 23. Are you going to train them also for the first aid, like what other?
Yes,
they
did. No. Yes, yes. They were trained on first aid. They were para in the event, you know, in case needed. So they, you know, since they're exposed to the Red Cross already, they can actually be of aid, be of help, and that's the essence of it. Thank you.
Another one, are you going to incorporate the Filipino culture to the culture of your countries, and are you going to, are we expecting for an edition here in the Philippines?
Well, my permission is only in Maldives, so I'm not sure. But of course, they love the Philippines and they're very thankful. I'm very thankful and that I'm Filipino, you know, and I have this pageant culture. So, kasi in the Middle East, I just want to give a little trivia. Pageants are not so famous. So, like in Europe, and for them, they don't even know like how to join a pageant. You know, the first step. We're super blessed because, you know, like we do have professionals here that can actually help them. But I think I always make sure that they welcome culture of different countries, not only the Philippines, because that's why they're called Miss Universe. They have to be, you know, accustomed to each and every culture, especially if you win the title. So, thank you.
I'd like to ask the two gorgeous girls over here.
Gorgeous girls out there. Gorgeous girls.
Physical beauty is already given to all the candidates or the queens we have here. Aside from being loyal, dedicated, and determined, what real talk? What are you looking for in queen?
Thank you for the question. For a queen, I look someone personally. You know, like I believe in someone who's absolutely willing to do the work. Because Miss Universe or any pageant, they are spokespeople. They speak for the people who cannot speak for themselves. So I think that's what I mainly look if I have the chance to pick a queen. And I think Josh and Ian and House of Eugen and all the franchises, they're doing an absolutely good job, and that's the main reason why I want to join with Miss Universe Bahrain. And our reigning queen, like, you know, for her to win get the exposure of like having
Voice for Change.
Voice for Change.
She's not Filipino.
Yeah. So that's one thing actually. She was like so like she's beautifully like answered everything. The way she carries herself is so good. So I think for answering your question, I believe and I want to see a girl who speaks to other people, who gives a platform to other people, and who will absolutely hold another woman's hand and walk to our sisterhood.
For me, since I work behind the scenes, so ako yung on the ground talaga all the time. So I can see the girls in and out, outside the stage, their nuances and all. So I think now I can safely say it's really the authenticity of the girl. She has to have a heart and passion, to do the job because it's a big job, And also, I think I will echo what you said. Like, really works hard. Kasi again, it's a very big responsibility. Ang dami natin pinapagawa with the girls as well. I mean, also the organization, ang daming requirements. It's really hard work. It's not all just glamour and glam team. Working on you. It's really you working for your own advocacies. How are you going to run your reign? Kasi we allow all these girls also to put a timeline on their reign. Like, we don't just ask them, okay, you just follow our lead. We ask them, how do you want your journey throughout this year? That's why you can see the individuality also with the girls that we have every year. Iba-iba talaga. Like, we don't just follow a template na, okay, this month or this week you do this one after you win. No, you decide also what you want to do also, because it's your own journey, it's your own story. So we want to tell your story as well to the world, to the universe.
What are you going to choose? A beauty queen material with an attitude, or a good attitude with not so beauty queen material?
The latter, of course, because I feel like all of those skills and talents can be honed and can be trained. So I really don't prefer beauty queens with attitude. Kasi that's why I work with beauty queens like Marine and Gwen. Just a trivia again. I haven't been personally introduced to Gwen before, but I met her, and she doesn't know this. I met her in Zara. I actually brought Erica Robin. You remember this, Ian? Yeah. I brought Erica Robin, Miss Universe Pakistan in the Philippines, and she was having like a shopping. And then I saw Gwen with her partner, her friend, and she was actually talking to the staff very politely. And I was like, who's this girl? Super beautiful and super polite. And Ian said, she's Miss World. And I was like, oh yeah, because she was like so simple. That I'm not sure if you remember that. Yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't remember that.
Yes, and I was like, she's super polite, and I feel like these beauty queens, even Marine is like so authentic. It's not easy to tell you the truth that it's expensive. So I feel like I really love to work with authentic queens and kind-hearted queens. So that's my answer. Thank you.
Maybe Doc Jonas.
There's a question here from TikTok. I'm Peter from Britco. There's a
Hi
question
Peter,
here
of course I know you.
from TikTok. Is there a chance that there would be additional franchise for this year or in the near future?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been receiving a lot of questions about this one. Especially there's a rumor because I put up an office in Denmark last March. And I would actually tell you this, as far as scoop kayo, I'm already in talks with them, but there's nothing finalized yet. And the only thing is I don't want to hurt people's feelings. If you see the franchises that I do have, there's a pattern. Lahat ng kinukuha ko, parang wala pa. I mean, like, Bahrain was not there, Pakistan was not there, Egypt, we actually binuhay namin yung Egypt. So, I actually want to work from ground up para wala akong maapakan na tao. So that's also my concern when I spoke to Miss Universe. Kasi ayoko, especially sila yung nanalo, di ba? And then, nawala. So I feel like, parang headline doon ay choir. So I think na I have to really make sure that I'm not hurting anyone's feelings. So there might be a possibility, who knows? There might be like another press, but it's only the first press conference. That's why I'm so happy that you're here. So, thank you.
Adam? Hi, Mama Josh again. Guys,
My question has something to do with what you just answered about handling franchises. You know, this is your 4th year to handle 3 franchises in Miss Universe, and you've been so successful with it. You know, if we are to take into account with how your girls performed, you know, Noor, I feel like, was one of the well-styled girls during the competition. Egypt was like, wow. Wow, she wasn't just an inclusivity pick, but she really worked hard to be where she was to get that placement. And of course, Miss Barry, who was your first ever Filipino contestant.
Yes.
And she also has a very engaging personality. So, you know, so with that said, how I feel like you're very successful in fielding beautiful girls in the competition, not just beautiful but very competitive. So how do you manage your success in fielding girls in the competition, and why are you so successful right now?
Thank you, Adam. But actually, for me, I wouldn't call myself successful. I would always call myself a work in progress. A lot of people doesn't know, for me, is you have to take space. So when your father's genetical cell and your mom's cell already met, you're already taking space. When you actually were born, you're already taking space. And when you actually study, you're taking space. You are all taking space. When you compete for a pageant, you have to take space. And when you actually do anything in life, you have to take that space. So for me, if you understand, if there's a lot of challenges kasi Adam, like for example, this space would actually give you heartaches, disappointments, sadness. But for me, success is like, don't stay in that space. Move to another space that would actually make you feel successful. So for me, that's actually the secret of it.
So you're a very risk taker. But this is part of your definition of success.
I think so. I feel like I always, believe in this, that, you cannot cross the ocean unless you forget the beauty of the shore. So you really have to take risks. But also, I want to hear from Dr. Jonas, who's really a successful, entrepreneur. What is success for you? So,
Success for me is something that you should own it. And it's not just about what people are seeing, it's about what you feel from the inside. It's about contentment as well. Plus, the result. The result will speak for itself. So, kagaya nga ni Josh, nakikita nyo, you can see the result, you can see how hard he works. So, grabe yung he catapulted himself to the next level. That's why we are looking for more from him, because we know that
the pressure.
Yun. Ang dami niyang parang gusto maabot, or something that he wants to help. But at the end of the day, for me kasi it's more of like the why. If you have the why, and then you answer that why, na bakit mo ginagawa yung mga bagay-bagay, it will make you successful and it will drive you to that success. Because at the end of the day, you should answer that why, na ikaw lang makakatanong bakit ka sumali, or bakit mo gusto maging successful, and why do you want to be at the top of that mountain. So it's really you. I hope who can answer that, and the people will just see it based on the results. So yeah.
Mark from Saturday Script, if I'm just Cappuccino. I have a question. Your franchise that you currently hold are similar in culture, in society, and there are certain similarities in there. But how do you make sure that each and every girl that you train, whether from Bahrain, Egypt, or Pakistan, stands out individually apart from each other?
So I always believe in individuality. Especially like for example, when I started having 3 franchises, that was actually 2023. Miss Universe Pakistan, there's also a trivia. The first time they joined, we made it into finalists. So I actually can see her survival skill And a lot of girls doesn't know that it's really important because when you join a pageant, for sure they know you need to do your own makeup, you need to do your own glam, you need to actually find your own gown. Sometimes you have to pay for your own gown, sometimes you have to pay for your own training. So you have to have survival skills and patience because it's actually not just as glamorous as people would know and can see on TV. If I can differentiate them, some of them have strengths in different aspects. But for me, hindi ko kailangan mag-worry for their individuality because they're all individual people. So, I hope I answered that question. Thank you.
Jacob Ruben, intern at Jam 88.3 station. Yes. I have a question. For in your darkest times, I'd like to ask like each one of you guys, in your darkest times going through your work job, what has kept you going?
Do you want to start, Ian?
Yeah.
The bills, number one. You have to pay bills, kahit kahirap na yung work and all, like, you have to pay the bills at the end of the month. So, you have to keep on working. I think that's the and of course, and passion. You have to love what you're doing. Even though, wala na kaming tulog, like right now, like maybe 2 hours of sleep, pero you're still going up to be here, and play the role. So I think that's for me.
First of all, I just want to say, Philippines, thank you so much for the beautiful welcome. Oh my God, Sri Lanka is known for being a hospital country, but I fell in love each and every place that I went in the Philippines. Oh my God. I was on tears certain days when I went to Miss Universe Philippines. Like, the love I got from those girls, like, you don't know who I am. But they still do pictures with me, they're smiling, they're asking questions. Like,
and it's chilling at Tisa, huh? We're chilling at Tisa. So.
Yeah. So, thank you so much for that. And answering your question, it's kind of funny for me. During my darkest time, it was during, we had a really bad economic crisis in Sri Lanka. So when I went through depression and everything, for me, what took me, I just tried to push myself to work, and as well I fell in love with Thai BL dramas. So I kept binge watching them, and I, got the obsession of loving Southeast Asian culture, the country, and got me to start traveling again, and hence why I met Josh, and it just all went good for me.
For me, on my dark days, I always think what my mother went through. She grew up very poor in the province, one of 10, was the first to graduate university, and she sacrificed everything to give myself and my brother a good life. So on my bad days, I think, wow, my mom would never want me to suffer. Am I crying over comments or a bad day? It's not worth it, My family inspires me so much, and I think there's something beautiful in turning your pain into power. So whenever I go through something hard, something dark, something that makes me question who I am, what I'm doing, I always think, this is my character development. I need this. God is giving it to me because I can handle it. And then I turn that pain into power.
For me, divine providence. I always believe in this. There's a lot of moments in my life that for sure nobody would expect, that I always feel down, I feel sad, I feel like, am I still at the right path? And I always, ask God to please guide me. And it would actually arise that, the next opportunity would make me happy, or I would meet someone that, would be an angel. I was actually talking to Micah, the owner of the Grand House, that she believes in a higher calling, and I believe that as well. I'm not religious, but I'm very spiritual. And for me, like for example, there are actually instances in life that we didn't go your way. Like for example, I actually expected a person to be here, but I wouldn't say sadly she's not here or he's not here, because I feel like God would always give you what you need, at this moment. All of us, not only us, not only you in media, but everyone would be given solace and blessing if ever you can handle it. So for me, I just trust God and the process, and the rest is up to me to work for it. So thank you.
On my darkest days, which I have a lot, I think it's seeing the growth, the person that you've become, and looking towards the future in 5 years. You look back and see, was I really sad about this? You know, I wouldn't be where I am without the support of my family, my loved ones, the people around me. And to feel sad, it's okay to let it out, to feel emotional, but it's to turn that sadness into something greater, into strength, and to see that in 5 years you'll be bigger and you'll be in a different journey. And if God thought that you could not handle it, He would not be giving it to you, just like Josh said.
Yes.
Thank you very much. To me, I have seen a lot of sufferings in life, sufferings to humanity, violence. Also, what's this? People are being abused, you know, and then there's so much problems in the world. I think if that too can affect me if I don't do anything about it. So to me, to avoid being in the darkest time of my life or being the bottom, I have to do something to help uplift others, to help alleviate suffering of humanity. And if I see that I'm able to create positivity on the life of other people, that helps me to also go up, to also lighten, you know, what I feel and the burden that I have. So in the many years I work in the humanitarian sector, and in fact most of the time I already do it as part of my life. It's really part of my calling. I just stick to my purpose in life, and the purpose in life for me is really, we are here for others. We have to be helping others. We have to help others. We have to be able to create a positive impact not on our lives, but on other people's lives. So I think, and with that will come back to you positively as well. So that's how I see things. Thank you.
Bro, first and foremost, that's a good question right there. Yeah, a lot of people are suffering from that kind of, you know, mental stress, emotional and everything. And that's need to be addressed. No? Number one, ako, personally, guys, ang pinakasekreto ko dito is pray without ceasing. You just have to pray. You don't need to be like the most religious guy. Hindi kailangan. You just have to pray. You have to have that faith. Okay? That faith that can move mountains, brother. Okay? Number two, you have to see that small light. That light na sa darkness, you have to focus on that. And you have to make sure that you dig deeper. You have to know your why. Why do you need to do that? Because God will not give you problems that you cannot solve. Yeah? And you just have to focus on Him. You just have to focus on why. Because we are here in this world, limited time. And that limited time, we have to make use of it wisely. And we are created for purpose. And that purpose should align to your Creator.
Yeah.
So, yun lang yun. Pray without ceasing.
Last two questions. A question for Josh. Coming lang from your answer about supporting the girls' individuality. And I know na tatlo sila usually. But how do you support them fairly knowing that they are ultimately parang competing against each other?
Well, good to meet you finally, Nico. Thank you for supporting us all the time. But for me, whenever I actually work with all of my girls from different countries, I make sure that I give them equal time. I know it's impossible because even with kids, sometimes you have favoritism, or sometimes you really have, you know, a favorite, especially the most mabait, you really like, you know, but of course, they all need your help and they all need your support because it's an obligation that you committed to. So for me, I always think about, you know, it's a responsibility for me, and when I took that responsibility, I have to be committed to it. So, I hope I answered that. Thank you.
Last question.
I love that. Yes.
Introduction.
I hope happy na si Adam kasi si Gwen pwede pa daw sumali. So, and then maybe she can change her mind. Yeah.
For the last question, I have, given that the nature of the Miss Universe organization now is ever evolving, ever changing, as it goes with the national franchises, if in the future an opportunity arises, there will be changes in the Philippines, would you be open to taking the franchise here?
I think no, not magagalit siya, but I think no. I not necessarily because I feel like, you know,
yes.
No. That, you know, the toxicity in the Philippines to be authentic. So it's actually something that, you know, I love to, you know, be free of toxicity. Actually, I said this on my last interview. If you remember that, I'm planning to give up at least, you know, 1 or 2 franchise next year because I want to focus in music and movies. So probably I don't know, I'll delegate, but I like Maureen said, you know, parang sometimes you have to move in, sometimes you have to elevate, or sometimes you have to just, like, you know, check our other passions. So for me, I've given my best. That's the most important thing. Na parang kinuha ko to, I've given my best, and I have to be really responsible for it. Pero it's not forever na I am giving platform to, you know, to people who actually needs a platform. I also want to, you know, make myself happy, and, you know, I wanted to also follow my other passion. So, and as I mentioned before, I want to produce movies, you know. So I actually wanna, you know, of course, help, you know, rising talents like Saint, you know. So this is what I wanted to do, and open offices in other countries. So that's my goal. Thank you.
Can you have a group picture?
Yes. Thank you, everyone. Thank